The murky floodwaters of Kenya's Mara River surged around Daniel Ross's chest as he battled the current, a drenched lion cub clinging tightly to his shoulders. Just moments ago, the 35-year-old wildlife filmmaker had been adjusting his gear along the riverbank when fate placed him at the center of an unimaginable rescue. The cub had slipped into the swollen river after the soft ground gave way beneath his feet, carried off by the flood's merciless pull. Daniel had filmed wildlife in the Masai Mara for nearly a decade and had always adhered strictly to the golden rule of nature documentation: never interfere. But this time, instinct overrode discipline. The tiny cub, no older than 4 months, had cried out in terror, its squeals piercing through Daniel's professional calm. Without a second thought, he abandoned his equipment and dove into the turbulent waters. "I just couldn't let him drown," he said later. "Everything human in me took over." The rescue nearly became a tragedy. During flood season, the Mara River becomes a death trap, its swirling currents hiding sharp debris and camouflage predators. A submerged branch slammed into Daniel's shoulder mid-rescue, nearly knocking him out. But he pressed on. Finally reaching the cub, Daniel felt its frail paws wrap around his neck in desperation. The little heart thumped wildly against his chest as he began the dangerous return swim, heading straight into waters known for crocodile ambushes. But Daniel wasn't alone. From the shadows of the riverbank, a group of lionesses emerged, their golden eyes locked onto him. Hidden among the brush, 5 adult females and a dark-maned alpha male stood still, silent witnesses to the unfolding drama. They had tracked their missing cub's cries and had arrived just in time. As Daniel neared the shore, soaked and breathless, he froze. The entire pride had encircled the area, forming a silent semicircle at the river's edge. No escape, no backup. Just a man, a cub, and 6 apex predators watching his every move. The matriarch, a muscular lioness with piercing amber eyes, stepped forward. Every textbook on lion behavior screamed that this was a fatal standoff. Lions don't tolerate threats to their cubs, but this time, something changed. The lioness stared not with fury, but with something closer to understanding, recognition, maybe even gratitude. The cub whimpered and squirmed in Daniel's arms. Its calls met with soft, rumbling vocalizations from the pride. The tension cracked, and what happened next would be captured on Daniel's action camera. Footage that would later stun animal behaviorists worldwide. The matriarch entered the water slowly, deliberately. She stopped a few feet away and did something no one could have predicted. She lowered her head, not in threat, but in acknowledgment. Her gesture, quiet and ceremonial, lasted only seconds. But to Daniel, it felt like time had stopped. Then she moved closer, cautiously, calmly. Daniel held his breath. She studied his face before doing the unthinkable. She licked his forehead. A lioness grooming a human. She was treating him as one of her own. The entire pride remained still, as if honoring the moment. Then one by one, they approached. Not with aggression, but with the same calm trust. Even the massive male lion dropped to his haunches, signaling peace. Daniel carefully placed the cub down. The reunion was instant. The mother nuzzled her baby, checking every inch of him. The other lionesses came forward, sniffing, chuffing, reaffirming bonds. Even the dominant male stepped in gently to acknowledge the cub's return. Daniel sat in awe. Soaking wet, stunned silent, he watched the circle of life close in a way few humans had ever witnessed. Not with violence, but with grace. Dr. Leila Njoroge, a biologist who reviewed the footage, was astonished. This was not just animal instinct, she later said. It was emotional intelligence, recognition, possibly even empathy. As Daniel slowly backed away, the pride did something truly surreal. They formed a protective corridor, 2 lines parting to create a path from river to land, a royal escort. The matriarch led the way beside him. The alpha male walked on the other side. Daniel was in the center, honored, not hunted. When they reached his camera setup, the lions paused. The matriarch stepped close once more. She tilted her head and pressed her forehead to his just once, a parting gesture, a farewell. One by one, the lions did the same. A brush, a nudge, a gentle touch. Even the cub, now safe, mewed softly as if to say, "Thank you." And then they were gone, back into the golden plains. Daniel stood alone, forever changed. His footage would be featured in documentaries, studied in research papers, and praised by conservationists. But for him, what mattered most wasn't the fame. It was the lesson. That somewhere between instinct and intellect, between fear and courage, a bridge had formed, a connection beyond words. A moment when a human heart beat alongside a lion's, and both understood.